What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome to a brand new series I'm going to be doing, which is FIFA 14 player changes and players that I think that are going to be different in FIFA 14 based on their informs from FIFA 13 and their real life gameplay. Now a couple of other YouTubers are doing this, most notably R9Rai. He's been doing this series for a while, so if you want to go and check out some of his changes, then his channel link will be in the description. There's also a few more guys that are doing this if you guys want to check them out. Now just to let you guys know before we get into the cards that I'm going to be doing, guys, these are my opinions only. Of course, they're not going to always be the same as your guys' opinions, so if there's anything that you guys think would be different to what I've given for these few players that I've got today, feel free to leave it in the comment section and you know, tell me what you think would be different. And I've also got a prices section, which is what I think the price is going to be for the players. I just want you guys to remember this is going to be an actual settled average price, not like the price at the start or the price if someone's like price lock the player. This is going to be like kind of an average price for the player, just like it is currently in FIFA 13. Now just to let you guys know as well, this is just a little bit of fun, you know, just to see what, you know, how close we can get to the changes in FIFA 14 and whether or not we are right or wrong. And if there's anything you'd like to see added or removed from this series, then just let me know in the comment section. And just as before we get into the current 5 players we've got, after you've watched this, guys, I want you to drop in the comment section the next 5 players you want to see me evaluate and change the ratings for. And on the back of that, guys, let's get into the first player. So first up, guys, we have got Neymar, and I've made just a couple of changes to his actual stats and then a few changes to his card. I've bumped him up from an 85 to an 87. Now, I don't necessarily think he deserves to be an 87 rated player, but because he's going to be in the BBVA and playing for Barcelona, I feel like EA are definitely going to up his card a couple of points there. And as you can see, I've improved his shooting a little bit and his dribbling a little bit, but the rest of the stats I've kept the same, just because I don't necessarily think he's had such an outstanding season to the point where he deserves too much increase. And of course his card is going to be a striker in my opinion, because they wouldn't have made his Barcelona card a striker if they're not going to put it through to a striker into FIFA 14. So as I say, I've made a couple of changes there. I think his dribbling does deserve to be improved. Like the few games I've seen him play for Brazil and the few that I've seen him play in the Brazilian league, which isn't many, granted, it actually was just 2 that were live on Channel 5. He has got exceptional dribbling skills. I don't think his pace deserves to be better, but his shooting at 79 for a world-class striker is far too low, so we've upped that as well. The rest of the stats we have kept the same. Moving on to the pricing for him. Right now on Xbox he's 435,000 and on PS3 525,000. I think his pricing is going to go to around 700,000 on Xbox and 800,000 on PS3 for FIFA 14, just because he is going to be one of those exceptional cards that has 5-star skill moves in the BBVA, has a lot of pace, great dribbling, and is great for hybrids everywhere. You know, he's got the BBVA hybrid, he's got the Brazilian hybrid. He's going to work very, very well in many teams, and for that he will be a very sought after card. The next player we have got, guys, is David Luiz. Now, I've made a lot of changes to his card because not only has he had a fair amount of informs in FIFA 13, he's also had a cracking season for Chelsea. So I've actually reduced his pace by 2 because I don't think defenders should have ridiculous pace, even if they do in real life have ridiculous pace. For the want of a sane game where fast strikers can outpace defenders, I've reduced his pace by a couple. I've increased his shooting by 5 because he actually has got a deadly shot, and his free kicks as well. Some of the goals he scored for Chelsea this year, one of them being a free kick, are just absolutely godlike. So he deserves to have his shooting improved. I improved his passing a slight bit as well off the back of that CDM inform that he got, and I definitely improved his defending and heading by a couple there, 3 for the defending and 2 for the heading, because he is actually a solid defender. He does make a few mistakes that aren't necessary for Chelsea, but he is a strong defender. And I reduced his dribbling by 1, just because I wanted to make an extra change on the card. I've increased David Luiz's rating from 79 to 82. I think that's about right for him. I think he's an 82 rated card. Even this year's card, with those stats, he should be much higher rated than the 79. And the fact his name is a lot more known in the world these days will definitely let EA increase his rating by a few, because there are a lot of cards that have very similar stats to lower rated cards, but their name makes them a high rated card in the game. Now we'll go to the pricing for David Luiz, and he costs 3,000 on Xbox and 6,000 on PlayStation right now as an average price. I do think he will sell for around 12,000 on Xbox and 15,000 on PS3, just because that sort of card is exemplary. It'll be one of the best centre backs in the game, and hopefully is a little bit more rare than this year, so that his price is increased a little bit. The next card we have got, guys, is Santi Cazorla. Now, this was a good one for me because obviously I'm going to throw a little bit of bias in there being an Arsenal fan. Now, Santi Cazorla's current card is an 84 rated cam. I do believe he's going to go up to an 86 rated cam. He has had 3 informs and or team of the season this year. It was actually a most consistent team of the season. But off the back of that, I've made a few changes. And I don't think I've been too bad with this. I think I've been okay. I've added 4 to his shooting because his shooting is really good, especially the first half of the season for Arsenal. He had a great year, scored a lot of goals. And I've also increased his passing by 6 because he helped Arsenal so much last year. You know, he controlled the midfield. His passing is great. I didn't improve his pace. I don't believe he is faster than the 78 pace. I do believe that's about right. Maybe even drop him down to a 76, but I thought I'd leave that the same. And his dribbling as well, I could have improved, but he doesn't really dribble too much on the ball. You know, when he played for Malaga, he played as a winger. At Arsenal, he's played as a cam, so I don't believe his dribbling should be increased. If anything, EA might decrease that. And I've kept his defending and heading the same. Now, in terms of Cazorla's price, at the moment, he's real cheap. He goes for $1,300 on Xbox and $2,000 on PlayStation. And for an 86 rated card, I think his price will settle at around $8,000 for Xbox and $10,000 for PS3. Now, the first 3 months and the last 3 months of FIFA, you can disregard those prices because their prices will be wayward in the first 3 months as the market settles down. And in the last 3 months, when the prices really, really drop off, obviously he'll probably go down to like 3,000 or 4,000 on Xbox and maybe around 4,000 or 5,000 on PlayStation 3. But I think during the main months of FIFA, those will be his prices. So let us move on to the next player. The fourth player we've got today, guys, is Lewandowski. Now, this is a card that I had a lot of fun looking at. Now, Lewandowski has had many informs, man of the match, team of the season cards this year, and that's exactly why I've improved his card so much. So after watching him a lot throughout the Champions League and after seeing him absolutely demolish a few teams, I had to increase his shooting by a lot. You know, he is a world-class striker, so I put his shooting up by 11 stats from 75 to 86. I also put his pace up a couple because I do think he's a bit faster than an 82 rated striker. His dribbling up to 88, his heading up to 84 because he is more of a target man than anything else. And I bumped his card up from an 83 to an 85, which may even be a little bit less than it should be. Maybe he'll be an 86 rated card just because he's had such a stunning season. But I think EA like to see a bit more consistency from a player before they really like to bump their stats up and bump their card up. So I think an 85 rated player is about right for Lewandowski, and I definitely think, although a lot of my stats there might be wrong, my shooting has got to be right. I would put him on a par, maybe even with Van Persie, who has 88 shooting this year. So maybe you'd look at Lewandowski and put him up to an 88 for shooting, which is a huge increase. Now, currently his pricing on Xbox is $3,000 and on PS3 is also $3,000, which is about right for a guy with 82 pace. You know, even in this game, if he had 87 or 88 pace, you'd probably look at his price being around 10,000. But I think his provisional price will be around 8,000 on Xbox and around 17,000 on PlayStation 3, just because those PS3 prices are always a little bit more expensive. And I think that would be a very, very good value for a card like that. If indeed that card stats are correct, or even if I'm relatively close, I would happily pay 10,000 coins or even 15 to 20,000 coins for a card like that, because I think he will be an absolute god. Moving on to the last player we've got, guys, and this is Eden Hazard. Now, he's got a few informs and a team of the season card, but I don't necessarily think he has had the best season for Chelsea, and definitely hasn't had a good season compared to what he had last year. Now, I moved his pace down by just 1 from 90 to 89, and his dribbling down by 2 from 90 to 88. I also took his shooting down from 78 to 74 because he just didn't score that many goals this year, and I switched his position from a left wing to a right wing, which is, he played a lot of his season out there at right wing. Actually, him and Mata kind of swapped positions a lot throughout this year. He played a lot of left wing and a lot of right wing, but just because his inform and his team of the season card were over on the right, I do believe that EA will put his regular card as a right wing. And I downgraded him, like I say, from an 87 to an 86 card. Now, in terms of his pricing, he's actually quite an expensive card. He'll be 40,000 on Xbox right now and 55,000 on PS3. And I think his price will still be quite high in the good months of FIFA next year. 70,000 for his Xbox card and 80,000 for his PS3 card. Mainly because there's actually not that many high-rated right wings in the BPL. Now, we have got Jesus Navas moved over to City this year, so he'll be a good player to have in the right wing position. But other than that, you know, the players that you look at most this year, Valencia and Walcott, maybe Lennon and Ben Arthur. So it'd be really good to have someone with 4-star skill moves and a very high rated card over on the right wing, and I think that will keep his price very, very high. Now, that was the last player for today, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Remember, these are just my opinions and this is just for a little bit of fun. Nothing is this too serious, and I don't believe for one second that I'll be bang on with any single card, because people never really know what EA are going to do. But I do want you guys to leave a like on the video if you have enjoyed this, and don't forget to drop 5 new players for me in the comment section, and if you thumb up some of your favourite ones in the comment section, I'll get those out for the next video. But for now guys, thank you as always very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Cheers.